ではヒントだけ。
Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Umineko When They Cry episode 3. The last video, not too much went on. It was the adults, the parents, they were going through and reviewing the epitaph because what else are they supposed to do? They've even been instructed, don't try and look for the culprit, just solve the damn riddle. So they're actually doing that, which is what we've been wanting them to do. So that's kind of all that went down in the previous video. Nothing too crazy, but it was nice to go back to it because it had been a while. You know, I read it in episode 2, sure, and we can connect the middle part of it to the killings that go on in each episode. But there's more to it, and some of the language actually, you know, it seems a little different now that we've gone through a little bit of the series so far. And now we're here. Beatrice wants a hint as to how to get back at Battler. Virgilia seems to be, I guess, you know, giving her a hint because she feels that she gave too much over to Battler. So she's trying to rebalance the scales.
イソップ寓話の北風と太陽というお話を知っていますか?
Alright, already off to a great start. I have no idea what that is.
もちろん、旅人のマントを奪うために北風と太陽が勝負する話であろう?
そうです。乱暴かつ性急な方法が常に最善の選択肢とは限らないということです。
言われなくても分かっておるわ。わらわが勝ちを焦りすぎたことはすでに反省しておる。
意味はよく考えることですよ。それからバトラ君も少々誤解があったようですが、あなたにも誤解があるようです。
Oh yeah? What are we misunderstanding here?
勝利条件を理解していますか?
I feel like I brought up a really good point in the previous video, and it could be the fact that, you know, of the 18, yeah, the culprit might be one of them, but it might be somebody that's acting in a way that we wouldn't expect. Like there's somebody else altogether, if that makes any sense. I want to stand by that. I might write that down as a prediction.
その時点でもう間違っていますよ。
わらわが何を間違えたというのか。
あなたの勝利はバトラ君を屈服させることではありませんよ。バトラ君にあなたという存在を認めてもらうことではありませんか?
なんとバトラにゴマをすってわらわを魔女と認めてください、お願いしますと頼み込めというのか。
Well, hold on now.
そこまでわらわは落ちぶれてはおらぬ。
Beato growled like a dog in a bad mood. I think the idea is more so that she's been directly attacking, making sure that he believes this crazy story by showing him this perspective that is all full of magic and witches and truly the science fiction, you know? It's all fiction. It's all shit that should not be able to happen. She's showing that to him in hopes of making him believe that she exists. But maybe she, you know, does need to revisit the overall goal. All she needs to do is convince him that she exists. Does she have to go about it this way? Maybe not. Virgilia shrugged her shoulders, snickering at her disciple, who was as short-tempered as ever.
ヒントは出しました。あとはあなたがよく考えることですよ。いずれにせよ、バトラ君にこれまでの手は通用しません。相当の戦略転換が必要になるでしょう。
言われずとも分かっておる。北風と太陽の話は何が言いたいのかさっぱりだが、とにかく方針を変えねばならぬことは分かった。お師匠様もあっと驚くような奇策を披露してみせるぞ。
No, I'm here for it too.
それは楽しみですね。バトラ君はそれにどう挑むのかしら。あなたの健闘も祈っていますよ。
バトラのついでに。
You know, it's a fair game. Not really. It's definitely not fair with the advantage that Beatrice kind of, you know, continues to hold. All right, back here at the old guest house, it seems.
もう投げ出して降参?
Oh, it's been a while since we've seen the younger form of Ava.
そんなに眠いならお布団かぶって眠っちゃえば?
As my mind grew vague and I pretended to fight my drowsiness, while sinking deeper and deeper into the sofa, I scolded myself.
あんなにもクラウスから当主の座を奪ってやりたいって夢見てきたんでしょ。そのチャンスを私の魔法が与えたのに、あなたはもう放り投げちゃうの？
そうは言うけれど、この謎は本当に難解よ。知恵の輪の方がまだマシだわ。解けるってことが絶対に約束されているもの。
Well, this is solvable too.
でもこの碑文の
But
謎
as I
は
said also in the previous
それすら
video,
も約束されているかわからない。
there's a huge chance that the components needed to properly solve this riddle aren't here yet.
私は挑むだけ無駄な勝負を挑んでるのかもしれない。
Like, you can solve it without the necessary components, but it's a much more uphill battle. Still hazy, I looked at the notebook I'd been holding the whole time. It was open to a page with the epitaph, which I must have stared at hard enough to burn holes in it so many hundreds of nights I had lost count. That page is truly a door. On the other side lies the Golden Land, the place I've wanted to drag myself to no matter the effort ever since I was a child, and the place I was never able to reach. Am I touching the door with both hands? With the book? No, the door right there in front of me, ready to be opened, and yet still unable to reach the other side.
そうよ、あなたは扉に手をかけている。さあ、それを力いっぱい開くの。そしてその扉に書かれた文字を読むのよ。
力いっぱい開く？扉に書かれた文字を読む。
Strain your eyes. See through to the thing beyond the epitaph written in the notebook.
懐かしき故郷は私たちの想像をきっと裏切らないわ。
No, there's actually a lot of terms and specific ways that things are being said that do stand out. Beloved hometown, the Sweetfish River, Sweetfish in general, a river itself, the Golden Land, and then a different naming scheme for the Golden Land in the second part of the epitaph. There's a lot here that does seem odd. A village? Is there really a village to speak of
お
here?
父様が唯一懐かしむ過去は少年時代だけだもの。
そうね。なら鮎の川は、それが泳ぐ川は複数あるし、お父様が住んでいた場所のすぐ近くにあったかは怪しい。鮎の生息するどの川が地図上距離的に近いかなんて話になると、急に曖昧になって特定ができなくなる。
自分で言ったじゃない。水の流れる川かどうかわからないって。鮎という言葉がそんなにもややこしいなら忘れてしまえば。川で考えるの。川で家系図という連想は悪くないわ。その要領で川から連想するものを他にも考えてみて。
Nope, beyond me. I suck at these. I really do.
川じゃなくて？川じゃなかったら鮎は泳げないのに？ああ。
Okay, but what if we're not talking about
鮎が泳げ
Sweetfish?
るってことは、
What if we're talking about
海ま
something
で繋がっ
different?
てるのかしら？
If it's something on like a specific path,
川魚
a
だけど
one-way road.
海に出るってうちの人も言ってたし。
Maybe she's figuring something out. Maybe.
海まで。いえ、でも。
She kind of remembering something or something along the lines here?
気づいた。でもうろ覚えなの。ここには書庫があったはず。調べれば確認できるわ。
それが鮎の川なら、そして鍵は6文字の単語かもしれないなら、
The first Twilight?
鍵が本当にその川に眠ってるというの？
I don't know. Anyway, I have to search in an atlas. But even if I know that, I don't know from what I should take the 6 characters.
本当にわからないの？よく考えて。私たちは下手に頭がいいから発想が硬いのよ。碑文の謎なんて大層に考えないで、子供の謎だと思って。
Oh yeah, because that makes it so
男なん
much
てい
easier.
くつになったって
I
子
suck
供
at
なの。
those too.
お父様が老境に差し掛かったとしても、心の中の本質的な部分は子供と何も変わらない。お父様への畏怖を捨てるの。マリアが船の中で突然出してくるようなくだらなくて低俗な謎遊びだと思って。 なぞなぞくだらない低俗なあれは確か
I wish I could remember, like, specific things like this. If I just strained hard enough or something like that. I'm sure if my memory isn't wrong that it's probably the case. No, I don't have to rely on my vague memory. I should be able to figure that out immediately by searching the library.
私たちは多分もう答えに気づいてるわ。あとはそれが正しいか調べるだけよ。さあエヴァ、誰にも気づかれないように書庫へ。あそこにはお父様の書斎から溢れ出した硬い本が山積みよ。
Does it really matter if somebody sees us or
私
not?
たちの疑問に答えてくれる本が見つかるわ。急いで。これが生涯で
I guess to her
最
it
初で
does.
最後の
She has to be the one that
私たち
solves
の夢
this.
の叶うチャンス。
Well, on to the library, I guess. When Natsuhi tried to lay a blanket over her, Ava suddenly jumped up.
ごめんなさい、起こしてしまいましたね。
エヴァ、眠いなら無理をしなくていいぞ。お前から休みなさい。
ありがとう。ちょっとお化粧室に行って顔を洗ってくるわね。
無理をせんと休んだ方がええで。また体に触るで。
Yeah, she also probably shouldn't go off alone. Like fucking Nanjo did. Can we talk about that actually? Somebody brought it up in the comments in the previous video. But no, it was something that was on my mind too. And he's done this before. Nanjo always just goes somewhere else, you know? Like, especially if there's... I don't know. I really don't know. Did he really feel like he was not welcomed here?
すぐ戻るわね。
He's one of the adults. After leaving only those words behind, I rapidly left the lobby. The lobby was partitioned off by a door, so as soon as I went into the corridor, they could no longer see me. God damn, alright. Okay. This guest house just keeps on giving. The library was next to the servant room. Father always owned a vast book collection, but ever since he started to become engrossed with his occult hobby, that collection grew even larger. So that the normal books, suitable for a normal study had been forced out as his study overflowed. This so-called library was mostly used as a storage room for those normal books. They were all thick, like complete encyclopedias for intellectuals. But that was very convenient for me, now that I was investigating something. I entered softly, and just in case, I checked the room with my gun readied, making sure that there were no suspicious people there. I forgot. Each of the parents, or I guess the siblings, or maybe it's all the parents probably, have a gun. I don't remember how many there were. Let's just assume everybody's got a fucking gun. Then I locked it from the inside. I actually wasn't thinking that the murderer might be hiding somewhere. What scared me was the thought that one of my siblings might hear what I was investigating. My heart had started racing before I realized it. I was half asleep just a moment ago, so I didn't realize how significant this thing I noticed was. But as I gradually became aware, my heart started to feel like it was about to explode.
これ他の兄弟たちは誰も気づいてないのかしら。
What has she figured out?
クラウスとルドルフは気づかないと思うわ。でもキリエはわからない。あいつおかしな勘が鋭いわ。あとはローザもわからない。ローザもグドンよ。昔から
God damn.
呆れるくらいにね。
Damn, it must suck to be the youngest sibling.
そう？あなたにグドンと思い込ませて不必要な恨みを買わない程度には賢いと思ってる。あった。これになら載ってるかしら。
I pulled the book out and flipped through the pages.
これ鮎の皮？なるほど。鮎の皮とはそういう意味なのね。もたもたしないでさらに調べて。
Wait, what does it mean?
分かってる。川を下ればやがて里あり。里って町や村って意味。人口密集地だもの。そんなのいくらでもあるわよ。どうして思考を停止するの？
Damn, y'all need to calm the fuck down, seriously.
嫌ならやめちゃえば。
The loud ass music and the wind and the rain, like it's all a little bit
キ
much.
リエに譲っちゃえば。いやよ、私が当主になるの。これがその最初で最後のチャンスなのよ。里って何？里ってどういう意味？ この川を下ると里、その里にて二人が口にし岸を探れ。岸よ、分かってる？
I don't understand.
分かってる。
The pieces that I hadn't been able to understand at all began to snap into place all by themselves. I couldn't even remember to close my open mouth. My throat grew completely dry. Is it really okay for this to be the answer? Really? Really?
でもこれは全然6文字じゃないわ。これが答えに間違いないって断言できるけど、これは全然6文字に満たない。
私肯定しならそれを6文字で読める方法を考えなさい。思いつかないなら調べなさい。きっと答えはある。それを疑ってはダメ。
And does it need to be
それ
6
が信
characters?
じられないなら
Is that really what the second part of the epitaph
へ
means?
そでもかって死んじゃえば。
Wait, what else did she say there? I think I might have skipped it. Nope, there's just nothing there. Okay. Is it though? Is it really?
それが黄金鏡への私たちの子供の頃からの夢へのその鍵を刺す鍵穴はあそこしかない。生贄に捧げるのはきっと
I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about anymore.
もうわかるよね。
They're keeping it so goddamn vague. Yes, let's scream. That's a great idea. I have no idea what the fuck just happened. I don't know what the fuck that she just discovered. Well, it's 10 in the morning now. Guess it doesn't matter, right? I'm sure they're keeping it vague for a reason. Whether it's the right answer or the wrong one, you know? They have to keep it vague. Did she run outside?
私をこっちへ回れと誘ってるもの。
What is she doing? My heart leapt, because there, gaping wide, was an open mouth in the eerie darkness. Is she like dreaming again, or what's going on here? When I strained my eyes, peering into the darkness, I saw something that looked like a light switch. In addition, there was a switch with open and close written on it. Where the fuck are we? When I resolutely pushed the switch, rough lights like you'd find in a coal mine turned on sporadically, making a staircase that stretched underground come hazily into view. Eerily enough, it looked even more gloomy with the lights turned on. Near the light switch was that open and close switch. It would probably open or close this, but if the open part happened to be broken, I might be shut away in this creepy underground area for all eternity. So for the time being, I did not touch that switch. And as I readied my gun again, I slowly went down the stairs. Where the hell did she go? I mean, we still have to be on Rokkenjima. The ceiling was very high, so it didn't feel cramped. On the contrary, it felt as though a cool breeze was blowing upwards, and that creepiness seemed to form a sort of aura. As I readied my gun and carefully stared forwards, I descended the stairs. The walls, the stairs, the lights, all of them were very old-fashioned. We can't hear the wind and the rain anymore. It was easy to suspect that this had been built back when the mansion had been constructed on this island. And there were cracks in the ceiling, and water clung to the walls, constantly dripping down. The water fell into a gutter that had been set up alongside the stairs, and then quickly and silently flowed into the underground darkness, as though it was telling me to go faster. The staircase kept turning back on itself. I don't know how far down I've gone, but I think it's much deeper than one floor. God damn, where the fuck are we? Eventually, a rough metal door showed itself, and there, characters had been written in a dark red paint. They had probably been written a long time ago. On the 10th twilight, the journey ends, and you shall attain the power of the Golden Land's treasures once and for the last time. My heart, which was already about to explode, jumped about even more as soon as I recognized those deep red characters. There's no mistake. This is the last stop. Father's golden land. I calmed my throbbing heart, somehow regained my composure, and readied my gun again. But since, in the end, I couldn't open the door with my gun held in both hands, I lowered the gun, carefully hid my breathing, and opened the door. Is this actually like a hidden spot that was created by Kinzo? I have no idea. I should just fucking hold my questions for the time being. I don't even know where Ava went. I don't know what she found out necessarily in that library. But if this is actually all happening right before our eyes, like this is a real event, Ava fucking dashed out of the guest house and went to this very specific location here on Rokkenjima, then whether or not we figured these things out now, it definitely answers some questions on this riddle. It basically clears the way a little bit. It eliminates a shit ton of different directions. My first impression when I saw the room was that it might be linked to one of the rooms in the mansion. And that's right, it had exactly the same atmosphere about it as the sealed VIP room on the second floor. But this was underground, so there were no windows. There was only the solemn light of a grand chandelier. But even though it was dimly lit by the faint light, the quality of the interior was more than enough to take your breath away. What the fuck? Yeah, there's gold there on the side. This is definitely a secret-ass room somewhere on this island. This is where it all really is. A bed with a canopy, and a rocking chair that looked like it would be comfortable to sit in. An extravagant sofa and carpet. The room was like a dream every girl yearns for at least once. And yet, since it was an underground hidden room with no windows, it felt more like the hidden house for a witch. I'd never swallowed the legend of Beatrice, Witch of the Forest. However, after being shown this room, it certainly became hard to doubt that she actually existed. But here's another one. There is Rose's story, which was told in this episode. So, believe Beatrice if you wish, you know? However you want to believe about her. And had lived in this room. Even though I was completely shocked by this room, I carefully, no, timidly searched the interior with my gun raised. And at the back of the room I found it. Whole lot of gold? Yep. Whole lot of gold. My gasp came out strangely, like a bunny being choked. That is oddly specific. After all, after finding something like this, no one would be able to stop that kind of stupid voice from leaking out. It's real. That crazy-ass bullshitty story from Kinzo was actually true. And not bullshitty at all, it just seemed like it. On the opposite side of the canopy bed, it was piled up in a massive heap. It was a mountain of gold ingots. Of course, they weren't piled up carelessly in a way that would damage the dignity of this room. A beautiful scarlet satin weave was laid on the mountain of gold, creating a beautiful three-colored mix between the red, the gold, and the black of the deep darkness. It was as though when the witch slept on this bed, the gold would be a respectful chamberlain waiting on her. Nobly, refinedly, gracefully, beautifully, it was attentively piled there with an imposing air. When I tried to grab a single gold ingot, I was surprised at its weight. It was probably about 10 kilograms. Just this ingot would probably be worth more than 10 million. The Ushiromiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, was lightly imprinted on it. It was hard to tell whether it had worn away or whether the impression had been made carelessly in the first place. But it was certainly the crest of the one-winged eagle. Just how many ingots were piled up there? By doing a quick count here and there and judging by the height, there had to be a few hundred at least. My mind has already gone blank, so I can't do the math well. Even a moderate guess would probably put it above several billion yen. Sorry, I snuck a word in there. I tend to do that. Okay, so is there somebody here? Is there somebody that's just been straight up living here, you know? What What is going on here? What is this room? Where is this room? What the fuck did I miss?
だって10トンの黄金よ。
Yeah, something like that.
時価にして200億円の黄金よ。見つけたわ。誰よりも早く。
So what does this mean? If this is really happening, does Ava win? In front of the mountain of gold, I spread my arms and looked up at the ceiling. A laugh without a trace of dignity flowed out from my entire body. I had no intention of laughing in a weird way. It's you know, she's hysterical. You know, it's an insane situation that you're in. You can't believe everything that's happened in the past few hours. But I couldn't hold back the happy feeling that was flowing through me. My older brother probably wouldn't accept his loss just because I found this gold, but from now on there would be no changing the fact that I had been the one to find it. To steal away the headship of the family, some more subtle bargaining would probably still be required, but after everything I've gone through until now, that's a completely trivial problem. Even if I lose out on the Ushiromiya family headship, I already have 20 billion yen worth of gold.
お金なんてくだらないものだろうって思ったことがあるわ。
Hell no.
世の中にはお
The
金
fuck
で
you
買え
mean
ないものなん
worthless?
ていくらでもあると思ってた。でもそんなのは嘘っぱちだって今理解したわ。そんなのは持たざる者の自分への言い訳だったのよ。この黄金の山を前にして私はやっとそんな当たり前を理解したわ。この世のすべての幸せはこの黄金を溶かすことで生み出すことができる。このお金があれば夫の会社はもう大丈夫。
Oh yeah, Hideyoshi's gonna be,
私たち
he's gonna be well off now.
ずっと幸せ。そしてジョージにも莫大なお金を残してあげることができる。
Yeah, I don't think any amount of money is gonna make him all that happy right now.
他の親戚たちなどやがては没落して消えるわ。その時ジョージはこの黄金を使ってまるでお父様がそうしたように、その時誰も異論を挟めないわ。
Damn, putting a lot of belief in
ジョ
George
ージ
here.
こそが後ろ宮家の本当の跡継ぎなのよ。
Okay, you know, before that, again, how do we know for a fact that she's the winner? Like, how do we know, at least from the magical Beatrice side of things happening in this story, that she's okay? And how do we know that she's gonna be okay from whatever is really going down? It happened. My wish was granted. That dream I have wished for ever since I was born into this world as Ushiromiya Ava has been granted completely at this very moment. My husband and I will be happy for all eternity. And I can also give my only son, George, eternal happiness. I really don't think this is gonna make him all that happy right now, honestly. Like, there's bigger things going on in his life. There's no way I'll waste it on foolish pleasures. My older brother has chewed the Ushiromiya family to bits, but George and I will revive it. And that means I truly have succeeded the Ushiromiya family headship.
成し遂げたわ。やったわ。
Again, what is really awaiting her here?
私は母さんはついに成し遂げたわよ。もうこれで誰にも脅かされない。
Damn, she's having a moment. That's right, after this, never again will we be smothered by sad nights.
おめでとう、私。おめでとう。後ろ宮エヴァ。私たちの悲しい半生は、今ここに、すべての念願が叶って消化されたわ。
あなたのおかげよ。あなたの魔法があったからこのチャンスに恵まれた。このチャンスがあったから
Now, okay, here's another one.
ここにたどり着くことができた。
Excuse me. Okay, so whether we want to call this magic or Ava just, having a split personality or some other mental issue, which I wouldn't be too surprised with. Okay, so what is really going on here? Like, do we want to constitute this as magic? Was magic utilized to help figure out this location? Or was this actual just inner thinking and deduction?
ありがと
This is just what that looks like.
う。でも私の魔法は私たちが互いに信じ合わなくちゃ叶えることができなかった。
Yeah, there's that belief system. We've heard of that before.
私の魔法の力だけじゃ
We've
ない。
definitely heard of that
私
one.
たちの勝利よ。だからこそおめでとう私たち。
Alright, bye. Bye, I guess.
私、ありがとう。後ろ宮エヴァ。今日までくじけなくてよかった。悲しみに溺れ、あがくことを忘れなくてよかった。いいえ、これは私の魔法。私たちの魔法。あなたの魔法は本物だったわ。森の魔女ベアトリーチェなんてすでに幻想。
Damn, you'll believe in the magic that is probably just you being a little crazy. Which, again, I wouldn't be surprised if what's going on here is like a mental problem. But damn, she'll definitely throw Beatrice away.
あなたこそが本当の魔法が使える本当の魔女。そうよ、あなたこそが今や黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェなのよ。
Wait, what do you mean by that? Hold on now. Hold on. That was actually a pretty interesting statement that she made. That Beatrice herself did not exist, but the magic that was within her was Beatrice. Ava decided to leave for the time being. When she climbed the stairs again, trying to leave this secret place, she saw a creepy, swaying human shadow blocking her path, and her dreamlike state was blown away. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I didn't expect her to fucking pop out on the right side of the screen with the fucking gun, ready to go. But yeah, who do we have here? For an instant, she believed that the true master of this room, the real Beatrice, had appeared. It seemed that the other person was also holding a gun. The two of them were pointing guns at each other, and eventually they realized who the other was.
ローザ。
Oh shit.
姉さん、こんなところで何をしているの？
How did they both get here? Did these two both leave the guest house? What happened to the whole plan of, like, bunkering down in a nice, safe, smaller area versus the big old mansion?
お互い様よ。あなたこそこんなところへ何のご用？
姉さんにヒントをあげるんじゃなかったわ。そうだったなら、ここ
Damn,
にたどり着いたのは
Rosa was not as dumb as we thought she was.
残
Okay.
念よ。
It seemed that Rosa knew where this staircase went and what was waiting ahead of her.
言うわね。私より遅くたどり着いたくせに。
鮎の皮に悩みすぎたわ。鮎なんて大した意味ないじゃない。
そんなことないわよ。立派なヒントだったじゃない。まあ確かに鮎である必要はなかったかもね。でも鮎が海に出る魚だと聞いて、私はそれで気づいたの。
この奥には
自分の目で確かめたら、あなたの想像をきっと裏切らないわ。
No, there's a lot of gold in there.
怯えないで、姉さん。私はもともと当主が誰になるかなんて興味ない。後ろ宮の席だって興味ないしね。本音を言うと、自分が当主になるんだってずっと威張り散らしてたクラウス兄さんから、
Is that really how you feel?
姉さんがその座を奪うなら帰って。
本気で言ってるの？
もちろんよ。私は後ろ宮兄弟のはぐれ者。仮に私が当主跡継ぎだとお父様に指名されたとしても、それを兄さんたちが認めてくれるわけもない。そこまで甘い夢は見てないつもりよ。
And yet here's Ava, who was also in such a difficult position, yet she actually fought back. Rosa kind of knew her place and she accepted it, but Ava was the odd one out.
姉さんの勝利の証を。
I guess that's just the difference in personality.
私は兄弟で取り決めした正当な取り分さえもら
Oh
え
yeah,
れば、
Ava's not doing that
むし
shit.
ろ姉さんがこのゲームの正当な勝利者だと積極的に認めるつもりよ。 私を撃っちゃえばこの黄金はローザの独り占めになっちゃうわね。
それは同じよ。姉さんが私を撃てばこの
Okay, so are they going to shoot each other? I feel like there's a lot of, yeah, tension. There's for a tense moment, the sisters pointed their guns at each other. Eventually, after they sized up the glint in the other's eyes, they lowered their guns. Ava removed her finger from the trigger and held the gun upside down. It was a position that she couldn't quickly shoot from, when she saw that Rosa held hers the same way.
そうね。相手を撃って黄金を独り占めにしようという提案はお互いにとって魅力的ね。でも台風で隔絶したこの島から突然失踪すれば絶対に大騒ぎになる。ここに死体を隠せば簡単には見つからないだろうけど、それ
Hold
も
on
絶
now.
対ではない。
That's actually an interesting point here, you know?
何百億
Hiding a
円の黄
corpse.
金があろうとも殺人の罪を犯すリスクには割が合わないわ。むしろそれを出しにされてクラウス兄さんたちに絞り取られるのがオチね。
同感よ。ここに現れたのが兄さんやルドルフであるくらいならあんたであったことは不幸中の幸いかもしれない。私は兄弟であんたを一番信用してるもの。
ありがとう。私も姉さんのこと兄弟で一番信用してるわよ。
Damn. Sorry, Kraus. Sorry, Rudolph. You guys just don't get to be involved in this one.
私も黄金が見たいわ。
見る？私ももう一度見たくなったわ。この目で見たにもかかわらずまだ現実感が湧かないの。
No, definitely cement that
あ
shit
なたと
in.
一緒に見て
Go and see it with another
確かに
person.
存在することをもう一度確かめないと霧になって黄金が消えてしまいそうな気がするわ。
Imagine that actually happened. What if they go back down? The gold's not there anymore. What if it just poof vanishes when she turned around? Ava started descending the staircase once more. However, she didn't carelessly expose her back to Rosa. Even though at a glance it looked like Rosa had lowered her guard, she definitely didn't show any signs of carelessness. Alright, is it all still here? It appears to be so. There it all is. And then they reach that room of the witch once more. Rosa also gasped, stunned, speechless by the vast amount of gold. It is a lot of money. Damn. Imagine having, what, 10 billion yen? I know the conversion rate right now for US dollars to yen is a little fucky, but that's still so much money, more than an average person could ever spend in their life. Like, way more. Rosa and Ava walked absent-mindedly through the rose garden. So, did they win? Is the game over? Because that was the epitaph, right? But I wonder, actually. Hold on. I'm actually a little curious. So, okay. On the 10th twilight, the journey's end, you shall attain to the power of the Golden Land's treasures, once and for the last time. So, there is this third part. It's like a conclusion. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. So, there's all the gold from the Golden Land, which I guess we have now seen. But then there's also the resurrection of all the dead souls, and the resurrection of the love that was lost. What do these two things mean? And then the witch is going to be put to sleep. So in a sense of reality, what is that leading us to? And even on the magical side, what does that look like? They had left the guest house secretly, so they had to be careful when they returned. It was time to snap to it and keep their guards up.
おめでとう姉さん。
ありがとう。
姉さんが決めたのよね。後宮家当主跡継ぎの肩書きに5割って。ここで聞いてくるとはね。今やそれはクラウス兄さんのことではない。だから姉さんの取り分が5割とその4分の1で125億。すごい取り分じゃない。
It's a shit ton of money.
私は25億で満足よ。ルドルフ兄さんだって文句は言わないわ。文句を言うのはクラウス兄さんだけでしょうね。
そうね。何しろロッケン島の実質的管理者は兄さんだもの。そしてその敷地内に黄金があった以上、 第一発見者が私でもうまくことを運ばないとややこしいことになりそうよ。
Yeah, I don't really know the legality that we have here on our side because you can't really say, well, the letter says, you know, I get the gold if I found it first, and I did, you didn't. And there isn't necessarily a kinzo around anymore to really cement that in, so
ならないわ
we're a
よ。
little, you know, I feel like we're fucked on the legal side of things here.
そこまでをも想定して私たちは夕べ散々議論を尽くしたんじゃない。
果たしてそううまくいくかしらね。私はもうすっかり興奮は冷めてるわよ。ここからの調整の方がむしろ問題ね。
それは新しき後宮家当主の問題ね。姉さんが楽しむべき問題よ。私には関係ないわ。
Honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. If this really is game over for the epitaph, solving the big riddle that we've been introduced to in the very beginning of this game, I don't know how I feel about Ava being in charge. She's been my least favorite character out of the bunch
第二発
from
見
like
者
the
として
very beginning.
姉さんに協力するからどうか例の前払い分
And Rosa's really, really down there as well, I'd have
私
to
の
argue.
1億5000万だけは3月までにお願い。
ええ、いいわ。私に協力するならそれくらい気前よく払うわ。私は兄さんじゃないもの。
とりあえずは兄さんたちを驚かせましょう。実際の場所は伏せるにしても早くクラウス兄さんの驚く顔が見たいわ。
Will they actually get that
ち
opportunity
ょっと
here?
待ってよローザ。それをみんなに伝えるのはまだ待って。
どうして？
バカね、決まってるでしょ。相手はあの尊大なクラウス兄さんにずる賢いルドルフなのよ。やがては発表するにしても今はまだ早いわ。どうやって話を進めるか慎重に検討してからじゃないと、せっかく見つけた黄金を全て兄さんにかすめ取られることもありえるわよ。
So just play ignorant. We don't say anything. We just continue along. The thing is, if more people continue to die, as we've seen in the previous episodes, then the game really isn't over. Ava thought she was saying something extremely natural. So when she saw Rosa's expression suddenly cloud over, she was a little surprised.
何か不満なの？クラウス兄さんたちの性分はあんただってよく知っているでしょうが。
Yeah, wait, why is she pissed? I don't really understand the point of playing, you know, of not playing ignorant. Or playing ignorant. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
姉さん、それはルール違反よ。
何の話よ。
Yeah, what do you mean by against the rules?
私たちは誰が黄金を見つけてもすぐに報告する
I
とい
don't
うル
remember
ールにな
this.
っていたはずよ。
But if that is truth, then yeah, we have to announce
それ
it.
を渋ればルールの根底が崩れて後で何かの火種になるかもしれないわ。クラウス兄さんが狡猾であるならばあるほどにそのルール違反は後でこじれるわ。
バカ言わないで。ここは兄さんの島なのよ。そしてさっきの黄金はキャッシュじゃない。10トンもの莫大な換金物の山なのよ。運び出して現金化するには相当の手間をかけるわ。そしてそれはこの島を実効支配している兄さんにあらゆる面で有利に働くわ。そんなこともわからないのあんたは。
そういう腹の探り合い。私は自分の取り分の25億をはっきり確定させたいだけ。
Ah, okay.
もちろん姉さんが私に現金25億を
Which is
今すぐ
unreasonable.
渡してくれるならあとは姉さんがどう交渉しようと勝手よ。でも私の取り分が手元に入るまでは私は兄弟のルールを遵守するわ。
Yeah, I low-key forgot whether or not they actually came up with some rules. I'm assuming they did. But if that is the case, then yeah, Rosa's in the right.
何を甘いことを。あんた兄さんのずる賢さを何も分かってない。
It wasn't that Rosa didn't understand the craftiness of her older siblings, excuse me. In that sense, Rosa more or less understood why Ava was being so cautious. But in her heart, she couldn't clear away her suspicion that Ava wanted to keep all of the gold to herself, because she knew that Ava was at least as crafty as her other siblings. These goddamn people don't trust each other whatsoever. Sure, there was the 3-against-1 pact at the very beginning of this meeting that they had as they came here for the conference, but no. No, they don't trust each other. They're all selfish. They all want money. They all want as much money as they can get. In other words, Rosa wanted to put a stop to any chance Ava had to keep the gold all to herself by quickly forming the siblings of the gold's discovery, or informing, excuse me. If only I could read.
ローザ、悪いけど、今だけは私の言うことを聞きなさい。
言うことを聞かないと1億5000万は用意できないってこと？
そういう言い方をしているつもりはないわ。でも、あなたが本当にそのお金を必要としているなら、私に協力した方が現実的よ。
What, you gonna promise more money?
兄さんたちに話せば、その当然の取り分すらもなくなってしまうかもしれない。それは嫌でしょ。
What does that mean? That seems more like a threat. Ah, shit. For a while, a severe expression that she had never shown to her sister before rose to Rose's face. There wasn't even a trace of her restraint as a younger sister. There was just the ruthlessness. No, the seriousness of a single human arguing about a vast sum of wealth. Ava made light of it, chuckling.
やれやれ、物騒な殺人事件が起こったばかりで、その犯人がまだ島の中にいるかもしれないってのに、こんなところで立ち話なんて、私たちもつくづく不用心ね。
どうせ使用人たちの茶番でしょ。この島で殺人事件なんてもともと起こってないのよ。
No, I'm pretty sure they happened.
あら、やっぱりそう思う
？6人の死亡状況ではっきり説明がつくわ。あの6人の密室は外部犯行では絶対に作れない。南條先生は全員死んでるって言ったけど、これは全てお父様が仕組んだ手の込んだお芝居よ。
What if it, shoot, I actually can't bring this up. I was gonna say that this is, or it could be very similar to a situation that happened into another game. Okay, I'll just say this. This is from a visual novel that I played on the channel, and at the end of the game, it was all about trying to fool the others that a death actually took place, a murder. It was all about perspective, or your perception of somebody having died, but they didn't really. They actually didn't. So, could this also be related? Everybody needed to think that a whole bunch of people died.
使用人たちはみんな死んだふりをしているだけよ。もともと殺人なんか起こ
Even
って
so,
な
I'm
い。
pretty sure with the red text, we've already been told that they're all dead.
殺人犯なんかうろついてるわけがないのよ。
へえ、あんたがそれに気づくとは意外ね。割と怯えてるように見えたから、そこまでは気づいてないと思ったのに。
私、そういう場の空気は読む方なの。おかげさまで鍛えられたから。
That's right. Come to think of it, now that the servants are dead, almost everyone on this island is a member of the Ushiromiya family. As for Nanjo, he proclaimed the deaths of the servants, but when the relatives began to discuss the riddle of the epitaph, he disappeared off to the second floor as if he didn't want to get in the way.
すべて私たちに非分に挑戦してもらおうというお芝居よ。だからこそ姉さんが勝利者であるという宣言が必要なのよ。あの焼死体が本当のお父様なわけがない。足の指の数が同じ死体をどこかで調達してわざわざ悪趣味に焼いてみせたのよ。
How perfect it would be if that was just the case, that everybody didn't really die,
きっとどこか
that
に
we're all
隠れ
just
て
being fooled.
私たちがどう振る
But
舞
I
うかを
don't think
監視
that
して
is
る
the
わ。
case.
姉さんが黄金鏡
There's
に至った
something else
こと
going
も
on here.
きっとすでに知るところよ。
I mean, come on, after all, we have 5 more episodes after this, and we're like, what, about halfway through this one? We have so much more to go through.
だからこそ
There's no
早く
way
姉
that
さん
this
が
is
勝利
actually
者で
what's
あると宣
happening.
言すべき。きっとお父様がどこからともなく現れて手を叩きながら姉さんこそが後
Though
継ぎ
that
だ
was
と
one of my
宣言
first
してくれるわ。
predictions when everything popped up. That, people are just faking their deaths or
ま
whatever.
あでも私は姉さんから1億5000万を無心しなくてはならない以上何も逆らうことなんかできないわね。
私の言うことを聞いて、兄さんたちには黙っている。そこをはっきりさせなさい、ローザ。
私は話したいわ。ルールを定めたのはつい昨べよ。それを保護にすべきではないわ。
もちろん必ず兄弟の前で発表はする
Just not
わ。で
immediately.
もその前によく状況を確認したいのよ。
10トンの黄金の運び出し、そして監禁。
The thing is, what if somebody else finds out the location of the gold? Because Ava didn't announce it, and they also secretly go down there, and they find it, or they feel like they found it first, because they weren't told otherwise, then they come back and announce it. Ava just lost, because now she doesn't have proof. She doesn't have that stance.
公平な分配。それを兄さんに出し抜かれずに行える裏付けが取れるまでしばらく考える時間が欲しい。それまで発表を待ちたいというだけの話よ。決して独り占めしたくて内緒にするわけじゃないわ。
やがてはきっとみんなに発表するのね。
もちろんよ。私だって早く兄さんの鼻を明かしてやりたいもの。
姉さんの言う考える時間というのは
The entire day, probably, until they can actually go home.
そんなの考えてみなくちゃわからないわ。
一晩あればそれは十分。
一晩ってそんなの約束できないわよ。
It is crazy that they are having this conversation right now in the circumstance that they are involved in, where a whole bunch of people just died, including their father. Just throwing that out there.
船が迎えに来る明日の朝まで。そうね。海猫の鳴く頃にはお開きになる。そこまでは私も黙ってることにする。それ以上の考える時間が必要だというのなら、その時に改めて相談しましょう。
Oh, I don't like this.
私は
I don't like
姉
this.
さんの立場を最大限汲み取って協力す
I
る。
don't like how you're saying that with italics.
あんた食えないわね。びっくりよ。それだけのたくましさがあったなんて。
女は子を持つと強くなるって本当ね。マリアを産んで私はそれを強く自覚したわ。
And a little crazy. You became stronger and a little crazy. Not saying that all will happen to a woman once they give birth or whatever. But no, that is Rosa. She is a little crazy.
わかったわ。とりあえずはあんたの協力に感謝するわ。明日の話は明日すればいいことよ。
ええ、そうね。姉さんが黄金を独り占めにするなんて考えない。
もちろんでしょ。ちゃんと黄金は兄弟で山分けするわよ。
Oh shit. Oh shit.
嫌よ。これは私が見つけた。私たちが碑文の謎を解いたんだから。だからこの黄金は全て私のものだってば。
Her inner self is not liking this
誰にも譲
whatsoever.
らないわ。私が後宮家の当主なのよ。私が
The witch inside Ava claimed exclusive possession in a loud voice. Of course, that didn't reach even close to Rosa's ears, and it probably didn't reach Ava's either. So what happens now, right?
わらわがそれを認めようぞ。
Hey, yo.
そなたこそ魔女の碑文に選ばれし、今こそそれを我が名において認めようぞ。
Wait, is Beatrice acknowledging that Ava's inner self is the winner? Ah, fuck.
あんたはその格好、まさか本当にベアトリーチェ？
Maybe Beatrice was happy that Ava had called her by her own name. She cackled cheerfully. In concert with that laugh, gold butterflies crept up as though a storm of gold dust was spinning around the room, and the room shone the color of gold.
いかにもわらわが黄金の魔女。そう怯えることはないぞ。わらわはそなたの偉業をたたえておる。本当に素晴らしい。あの碑文の謎を見事解いてみせたとは、わらわを感嘆させるに値する。
あの手紙の差出人はあなた？なら私は全ての黄金と後宮家の家督を引き継げるのよね。あなたはそうあの手紙に記したわ。そして私はその挑戦に打ち勝った。
わらわはそれを認めようぞ。今やこの積み上げられた黄金のすべて、後宮家のすべてをどうしようもそなたの自由ぞ。
Okay, so is the game over?
何しろ今この瞬間よ。
Now that a winner has been acknowledged?
本当に？本当よね？本
興奮するでない。わらわはそなたを率直に褒めておる。その証にそなたにこれを授けよう。
What's happening? What is being granted to her? Beatrice took a ring off of her own finger and held it out to Ava. She fearfully accepted it and realized that it was a ring.
これまさか。
金蔵より返還された後ろ宮家当主の証である。今よりそれはそなたのもの。それを指にはめ、兄弟たちの前で高々と掲げるがよい。
Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna work.
そなたが今や後ろ宮家の家督を継いだことに誰も疑いを挟めぬであろうぞ。
Imagine the ring just pops up on her fucking finger. Ava stared closely at the ring. It certainly wasn't a fake. Without a doubt, it was the real thing. She dreamed of receiving this ring someday, focused on this day over and over again, and it was now finally a certainty. This ring had now designated her as the head, and had been handed over to her. And, timidly, she put it on the middle finger of her left hand. Okay. So how do we proceed here? In that instant, she felt a deep emotion welling up inside her that she had never felt before. Her mind grew blank. Both eyes were opened. That ring was on her own finger. Not in a dream, but in reality. Oh, I wonder about that.
それほどまでに指に通すことを夢見ていたそなたのもとへ行くことができたのだから。
指輪、お父様の指輪。
そなたはそのようにして自らの指に通すことをどれほどの世に夢見てきたのか。
Couple 3,000, 4,000 nights maybe?
その思いの強さがそなたの魔法に通じ、そなたは今や立派な魔女を名乗る資格があろうぞ。
あなたは何者なの？本当にベアトリーチェなの？
我こそは黄金の魔女、後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師。金蔵との契約に従い、そなたに今こそ全てを受け継ごう。
Okay, what does that mean though? What does this mean?
金蔵に託した
Okay, it's the gold.
全ての黄金、
It's the headship.
そしてそれにより築き
And
上
the
げ
wealth.
た全ての財産、そして後ろ宮家の
But what
家
about-
督と名誉、
What about the rest of the things that are going on here on this island?
そして
What happens there?
我が力と無限の魔女の称号を
Okay, that's new.
そなたに引き継ごう。
That's slightly different. She just disappears from the fucking painting.
称号。
わらわのすべての魔力と無限の魔女にして黄金の魔女の称号をそなたに引き継ぐ。先代に従い、称号とともにわらわの名ベアトリーチェも
What the fuck?
そなた今こそそなたが名乗るがよ
Oh
か
shit.
ろう。
I guess I was kind of right earlier. I said something along the lines of like, what if like the witch inside her is Beatrice or whatever, I don't know, or the magic inside her. Well, I guess technically that is the case now. Ava gulped. The chandelier light, which had seemed dim, now felt too bright.
我が名においてこれより黄金の魔女の継承を執り行おうぞ。
Man, there's been a lot of passing around with the name of Beatrice. A lot of that's been going on. What the fuck is this goddamn room? The instant Beatrice made that proclamation, everything was buried by a golden sparkle and changed into a majestic place that looked like an audience hall. In the audience hall, there was a crowd of Beatrice's minions and brethren, as well as countless gold butterflies celebrating the first succession ceremony in 1,000 years. Excuse me, when she looked, she saw Beatrice in the throne that only the Endless Witch was permitted to sit in, holding a golden staff, reigning with a dazzling dignity. Without being ordered by anyone, Ava automatically kneeled, hanging her head. Ah, hello. A goat attendant respectfully handed Beatrice a golden staff in the shape of the one-winged eagle. After Beatrice stood up and received that staff, she laid the tip of it on Ava's shoulder and spoke. It was a proclamation 1,000 years in coming.
後ろ宮エヴァ、そなたは魔女の碑文の謎を見事解き、その偉業をたたえ、 そなたに無限の魔法のすべて、無限と黄金の両魔女の称号を引き継ぐ。
I wonder what this also entails for outside the scope of the story.
そなたはこれに
Oh, hello. What's happening?
ベアトリーチェを名乗るがよかろう。さあ、
Something changed. Something just
そして
adjusted.
立ちてこの杖を受け取れ。
But no, I wondered earlier with that big ass anime showdown, with the reveal of Kumasawa actually being the OG Beatrice, or who we now know as Virgilia. I had wondered, how is this also shifting the outside of the scope sort of, you know, situation?
ありがたき幸せ。
Ava Beatrice, huh? Ava stood up dizzily and took the magic staff from Beatrice's hand. Her hand was trembling slightly. As soon as she grasped that staff, she was wrapped up in the brilliant sparkle of gold, as though gold butterflies were flowing out from inside of her. In the instant she succeeded the Golden Witch, Ava felt something in the depths of her soul be reborn. To describe it in a word, it was energy. Energy with a gold color. It felt like she was waking up, as though she had been half asleep ever since she had been born, and was opening her eyes for the first time. It felt as though her true eyes inside her eyes were open for the first time in her life. That was a fun sentence. And now she can do that. Cool. Oh, okay, I guess she can do that. Interesting. Oh, hey. We know all these individuals there on the right. Interesting. Hold on. I feel like this is not only thumbnail material, but also this is kind of an interesting site, because I want to say that this young version of Ava here, I've maybe seen somewhere in some like promotional material or something. Not that I'm actively looking, but you know, in that dress with that staff and everything, she definitely looks a whole lot more familiar. Just throwing that out there.
黄金の魔女にふさわしきウッツァー、一同の者たちにそなたの姿を見せてやるがよい。そなたこそが今や新しき魔女であることを知らしめてやるがよい。
Ava, no, the new Beatrice turned around timidly. When she did, the witch's minions, which filled the vast audience hall, honored her with an applause that sounded like the roaring of the sea.
さあ、皆の者、ベアトリーチェの肖像画をすべて新しきベアトリーチェに差し替えよ。
Oh yeah, how's that gonna
新
look?
しきベアトリーチェに祝いの言葉を捧げよ。
It's gonna look exactly like that. This is so weird. I guess that was, oh, hello, Virgilia. I guess you're still alive in the scope of the fucking story here, too. Are we? Okay, you know what? Here's my problem. So I've always perceived things, I guess ever since episode 2. We have the scope of the story. It's the story that we're being told, right? It's this new rendition of what we saw in episode 1. And here we are with yet another one. Outside of it, it's Battler and Beatrice trying to fucking figure out what's really going on. Renove joined in on Beatrice's side, Virgilia joined in on Battler's side, which I don't really know where the fuck Virgilia came from, except from inside the scope of the story. Are we still there inside the scope of the story right now? Because if we are, Virgilia shouldn't be here.
そして無限の魔女として一人前になることを願っていますよ。
頑張ります。
やんちゃな先代と違い。
Damn. Maybe I was right to think of Ava as like the worst character of the bunch. God damn. She became the new Beatrice. I don't know if you can really say she's like the new villain, but holy fuck, what the hell? I don't even know.
お師匠様、今は真面目な儀式中なんだから、そういうのはなしで頼むよ。
黄金の魔女の継承、新しきベアトリーチェ様。私はロの上と申します。黄金の魔女様にお使いを許されている72柱の悪魔でございます。これより 常におそばに控えております。何か不自由がございましたら。
ありがとう。
ロノウェは口は悪いが頼り
Hey, I like him.
魔女
I
と
don't
しての
trust him, but I like
新
him.
しい日々への戸惑いはその男に相談すれば
I've come to
晴れ
like
に
him.
ある
I thought he was fucking. I thought just like like him being included in the story and everything just blindsided the shit out of me.
そして先代ベアトリーチェ様、ようやくこうしてお会いできたのに、これ以上のお使いを許されず、とても残念です。この1000年間、とても楽しく過ごさせていただきました。深く感謝いたします。
そなたとの1000年退屈はなかったぞ。新しき魔女の世話どうかよろしく頼む。
はい、先代ベアトリーチェ様の最後のご命令、このロノウェしかと聞き届けました。
感謝しなさいよ。
Oh, no.
あんたの魔女継承の推薦人にサインしてあげたんだからね。つまり私がサインしなかったらあんたは魔女になれなかったってわけ。
Oh, is that how this works all of a sudden?
だから少しは感謝なさいよね。
こちらは絶対の魔女ラムダデルタ教。そなたの無限の魔女継承には元老院の魔
There's
女
a
の推薦が
Senate?
必要
What
な
the fuck?
ラムダデルタ教はそなたを推薦される。
ちょっとベアとこの子感謝が足りないわ。やっぱ推薦やめる。
I don't think you can do that.
推薦人は子供の使いじゃないでしょう。サインしたならきっちり責任取りなさいよ。
ラムダデルタ教は絶対の魔女でもあられる。絶対の魔女は運命を強固にする絶対の運命を好まれる。そなたの今日までの努力をとても
Oh, I think she's cool. I think Brunkastill is probably the most interesting on the magical side. I mean, they all have like my curiosity piqued in some sort of way.
まあ不遇の少女時代と報われない努力にね、ちょっとだけ同情しただけなんだから、別にかわいそうだからとか思ったわけじゃないわよ。うぬぼれないでよね。そうだ。私から見ればあなたの継承はまあ奇跡というよりは偶然ね。
What does that mean? Like anybody could have
私が
won?
推薦するには値しない。
Anybody could have been, or not anybody could have been a successor. Or I don't know.
こちらは
That was a
ベル
weird
タ
ass
スティ
situation.
とても気難しい御人でな。だがこうして参列し祝福してくれただけでも行幸というものよ。
1000年ぶりの珍しいイベントだから来ただけ。美味しいお酒も出るそうだし。
Is there though?
新しきベアトリーチェ様、ぜひ私たちにもご挨拶させてください。
どうもはじめまして。
The seven sisters of purgatory were gathered in a line. The eldest sister, Lucifer, took a step forward and kneeled.
こやつらはわらわに仕えし家具たち。継承祝いにそなたに使わせる。そなたには黄金の魔女を継承した後、自らの復活の儀式を執り行ってもらわねばならぬ。その儀式において煉獄の七姉妹たちは欠かせぬ役割を果たす。くせ者揃いだが役には立つぞ。手足とするがよい。
常にベアトリーチェ様のおそばに。何事もお命じください。必ずや遂行してご覧に入れます。
Well, I wonder about that. We did see a little bit of failure, you know? By Lucifer herself, too. Even after that, many nobles and minions visited and offered words of congratulation for the new witch. As she responded to them confusedly, she felt as though she was growing lightheaded due to lack of oxygen. She couldn't tell if this was something real or unreal, but there was just one thing she could understand, a feeling of achievement at being permitted to call herself the Golden Witch. That alone was a truth she could definitely understand. I am so fucking confused.
これはどういうことなんだ。
Good question, Battler. We are ending this video off on that because it's what I'm thinking. But okay, so this is technically all happening within the scope of the story. we can now definitely say that, I suppose. Cool. All right. We're in chapter 11, it seems, but I wonder how far we've got, or I guess how much we have left until we're done with this chapter, and how many chapters we have. I think it's somewhere like between 16 and 20, I'm pretty sure. So that seems to be the sweet spot. I don't know how many chapters 1 and 2 had. I forget. But we're making good progress, I think. Not too much more, but definitely a good amount left. So we'll keep on trekking along. And yeah, so all this happened. I don't really know what to think of it, but it definitely throws a whole new wrench into the fucking gears here, doesn't it? This fucking game. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.